blood? We taking a look at the boy Luesta. Go give him a like and a goddamn sub if you're not following his channel. And he's doing a breakdown slash documentary about 1090 Jake. Y'all let me know the temperature on that nigga. Also, real quick, in case it sounds like there's like an asteroid crashing outside, it's just motherfuckers working on the street, blood out there, neon vests, doing construction. But I'm chatting. So real quick, cause I have a story time, I guess, and I'm around like a group of friends, and there's someone who is in this group who's not my friend, but I know who he is. You feel me? And he's just somebody who, you know, he be around the clique, so you know, I associate with him, I guess. But Blood offered me a hit of some goddamn galaxy gas, and like I was like, huh? And you know what I'm saying, when he explained what it was, like I was thinking to myself, like, Whippets? Like, I imagine like that nigga Dr. Steve-O. I imagine that nigga Bane from Batman. You know, when that nigga the Joker can't stop laughing. But y'all have to let me know in the comment section, because like I said, he pretty much offered me some nitrous oxide. It's called galaxy gas. He said, yo, this shit will make you feel like you really went to space. Y'all have to let me know in the comment section, should I have took a hit? Because like I said, it was in this like long cylindrical tube easy, but like again, like I don't know, man. Like yo, just seeing the nigga unscrew that shit like when you taking the bottle cap off to drink the Sprite, like I don't know, blood. It just didn't look like something I want to partake in. And again, like yo, after I seen this nigga Steve-O fall off a goddamn balcony doing whippets, I'm like, my nigga, nah, I'm good, blood, I'm good, yo, I'll just watch. But y'all let me know in the comment section, did I fuck up, or like I said, yo, should I have fucking took a huff?
Snitching is one of the biggest crimes imaginable in both the streets and hip-hop culture. So when someone goes out of their way to make a career out of uncovering those who've committed this terrible offense, it's no surprise that they are seen as heroes by some and villains by others. But what happens when the snitch buster is also accused of being an informant himself? And does it lead to the empire they've built crumbling around them? It's your boy Luesta, and this is the story of 1090 Jake, a YouTuber who made a career off exposing rappers who were snitches and eventually got exposed for the very same thing while he was in prison. But first, let's get you up to speed on how he became such a big deal in the first place. Born in Massachusetts, the content creator lesser known as Jake Cherry was just your average kid getting into some scrapes before he moved to Tampa, Florida. At that point, his life took a drastic turn when he became a rare example of a white boy joining the Bloods. From there, he set out on a mission to prove himself in ways that your typical gang member wouldn't have to, all because of his unique status.
Yeah, that was really like the only thing that I was around. It's not like you could pick from this gang and that gang. Where I was at, it was just mad bloods. So I kind of naturally went into that space, ended up getting brought over to a specific block, and it went how it went. People respect violence, so it's kind of like I feel like I had to do more than a lot of other people were doing. The specific person that I met though that brought me into the situation was mixed, so he wasn't really tripping.
Is that like a normal thing? Y'all street niggas gotta let me know, because actually it's a white boy I know. He's like my brother. It's that nigga T. And you know, he be like hanging out with all these gang niggas. He got a couple of long-lived statuses in his bio. And the reason I say that is because like when it comes to a Caucasian nigga growing up around an urban community, aka a bunch of black people, a bunch of niggas, yo, do they gotta like crash out extra hard? Like instead of just catching a body, do they gotta like kill a cop or something?
Off the race shit.
Sent to juvie when he was just 16 years old over a stolen gun, he was then sentenced to 3 years on a robbery charge, where he began to learn the ins and outs of the prison system.
Okay. So I went to state prison when I was 18. As far as like the actual juvenile, the Department of Juvenile Justice, it was either 16 or 17 when I first went in there. They were trying to link me to an armed burglary, so I got hit with the possession of a stolen firearm, armed burglary, and I ended up beating the case because my co-defendant more or less took the rap in the case.
According to him, this led to a whole host of fights behind.
This is a monster who did this.
I love you.
So I just want to find out who killed my kid.
Aww, what the fuck? That made me sad.
Bars. And even a hit being placed on his head by the gangster disciples that led to Jake's face being slashed. But if you ask some people, Jake's time in prison went a little differently to the way he tells it. However, we'll get to that later in the video. Once he got out, Jake received 2 years of probation and moved back to Massachusetts. Free from gang life, he began to use his in-depth knowledge of the prison system and started making content on his own channel known as End of Sentence. Back then, he was just spreading awareness of his own experiences and raising awareness of what he had experienced inside.
This video right here is gonna be about how I was cut inside
of prison.
But once he started to run out of his own stories, Jake built a name for himself from exposing others. Before long, he had his very own content niche, where he not only covered the same gritty stories of inner city violence that we're used to hearing, but would also use any resource possible to expose alleged snitches in hip-hop. And in doing so, he'd make himself one of the most hated figures in the culture among all of those rappers who had paperwork on file that they wish they could outrun. Beginning with regional MCs, before working his way up to bigger names, 1090 Jake made himself a fully fledged career out of putting rappers on blast for their past indiscretion. Whether it was Spot 'em Got 'em, Boston Richie, Finesse 2 Times, or even Quality Control CEO PRP Thomas, 1090 Jake was putting everyone's business out there. And each man has been left stained with the brush of being a potential cooperator ever since. But
I'm sorry to keep interjecting, but I need y'all to clarify that in the comments too. God damn, yo, it sounds like that fucking bulldozer is on steroids out there. Like, I don't know why they destroyed the street. Like, that shit was just fine. Like, I drove on it like a week ago, but whatever. So, hey, when it comes to this whole, like, 1090 Jake exposing these niggas, like, why do y'all have a problem with it? Because y'all hood niggas always talking about, like, yo, all rats must die. Like, if we found out they infiltrated, let us know. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, 1090 Jake is just letting you know, like, yo, the niggas in your fucking camp, they might be talking too. Like, let me know in the comment section if I got it all wrong. I thought that the hood niggas would want to know that, yo, my nigga, hey, y'all got some fucking talkers in the fucking gang.
every time their paperwork came out in videos that racked up millions of views, the first thing they would do is try to discredit him. Just look at how Boston Richie was scrambling to cover up the interrogation video that 1090 Jake had posted.
One of the hottest young rappers in the streets right now who ran it up off of public housing. Got one of the hottest songs with Future right now. Also has worked with Lil Durk. Is now forced to stop his momentum to address snitching allegations. A man by the name of 1090 Jake recently released a video that shows Boston Richie in an interrogation room years back for nearly an hour. Richie is now explaining what happened. Apparently this all centered around the death of his cousin. He said he was giving the police the runaround. He said it was a goose chase. Everybody know about it.
I ain't give a fuck about that shit, cause like my whole city know what's going on. My whole city already know like who I'm as a person.
Richie wants to know why fans would trust a guy like 1090 Jake anyway. A guy that ain't from the streets, but speaking on everybody's case when it comes to the streets.
Man, I know what happened. We was there when this shit went down. I don't care about the internet got to say or what another nigga from out of a whole nother city got to say, man. This some shit that I don't talk about them from niggas out my city probably one time. And the nigga on some shit like, man, we not talking about that shit. Like, we niggas, you ain't got to convince that you silent.
This wasn't even the only interview that Boston Richie would go on where he discussed the situation at length, which showed just how much it really affected him and his brand. To this day, it's still the main thing that hangs over his head in terms of controversy. From up-and-coming rappers to literal CEOs, no one was safe from 1090 Jake's brand and investigative journalism. Even when those accused branded him as a clout chaser, or in the case of 03 Greedo, who Jake accused from dealing with the feds, literally banished him from an entire city.
Me and him never spoke. He didn't say nothing disrespectful in the interview. He said it was fake. He said he never gave an interview with the DEA. Mind you, all the paperwork I went over in the video came from them. So then I made the request myself to the county and I got the full affidavit. And you know, I got banned from LA by the Grapes right after that video. So I flew out right after and did an interview on No Jumper. And I brought the affidavit, the copy of it that I got from the county. And
see, that's just what I'm not understanding, y'all. Like, so, like, for example, if there's, like, actual paperwork on OG Greedo and motherfuckers is out there doing all kind of drills, crashing out, throwing away their freedom. Like I said, it's young niggas influenced. They want to be gang members because they listening to his music. Like I say, if you find out that all of that is nothing but a fucking charlatan, like, you know what I'm saying? Blood is doing some smoke and mirrors, you feel what I'm saying? A Vegas magic show, like, if you find out that that's all it is, what you base your whole morals and lifestyle on, I'm gonna give it a P. Like, I feel like things like that need to be exposed because then people be like, holy shit, wait, this nigga not really living the rhymes? What? Like, yo, the ops is still breathing? Like, yeah, no, maybe then they'll switch up, decide to put a fucking gun down and pick up a textbook. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm chatting or not.
Everything matched up. He's saying he's gonna get the video. I requested the video. They said it doesn't exist anymore. I don't know if he's ever gonna get that, but I don't know.
But he's basically denying it.
Yeah, he's denying it, and he's got a lot of people that are backing him on it. Like, oh, that doesn't.
Kraken Client Support is here to answer all your questions.
We all need a little help sometimes.
Hey, man. Is that Samuel L. Jackson? Oh, y'all be getting mad when I watch the trailers, but I'm just curious what's going on.
You feel that?
Oh, nah, never mind. I thought like the wall was about to like fucking turn into a piano or something.
Doesn't count.
Why does it not count?
I don't know. They be making exceptions for people. What I heard was because it's not court paperwork, it's sheriff department paperwork, it doesn't count. But what doesn't make any fucking sense about that is every single one of those documents would be in the court case. It would just be photocopied and stamped with a court number. So whether you request it from the courts or the county, it's gonna be the same fucking thing.
Suddenly racking up foes in hip-hop while making a bag all at the same time, Jake was well aware of the potential dangers that came with exposing those with a lot to lose.
When you make this type of content and you're involved in hip-hop in itself, it becomes dangerous and you make more enemies than you know of. You don't know whose story you've talked about before, and they're just like, you know what, I'm so mad, but I'm not gonna go after none of them that did it. I'm gonna go after this kid that just talked about it.
But that wasn't the only hurdle he faced, as given the fact that he was a white guy from Massachusetts discussing predominantly black artists, there were some who felt uncomfortable with him being the one who decided what rappers should suddenly be outcasts in the culture. And over time, people like Charleston White made this well known.
How he getting them? How is he getting interrogation tape from the police department? How is he getting this? The media can't get this. The news, Channel 8, Channel 8, how is he getting this? And why is it they just giving it to a white man only to come destroy black people? This white man got the power.
Yo, I'm sorry, but like, yo, hey, I ain't even trying to deal with no Uncle Tom shit, but why is motherfuckers always trying to make shit like a racial issue? Like, he's talking about the media can't get this. Like, my nigga, anybody can call the fucking police thing, yo, request the fucking body cam footage, whatever. You get what I'm saying? Request the proper documentation. Like, yo, anybody can pay to acquire this. So, like, I mean, like, I don't know why this nigga's talking about, like, it's some fucking, like, conspiracy that went back, like, hundreds of years to enslave black man. Like, yo, like, I ain't gonna cap. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Do you think 1090 Jake is doing this from, like, a racial aspect? I don't know, blood. Like, hey, Charleston White to me just sound ignorant as fuck because he's talking about, like, they only giving it to a white man. My nigga, if you fucking, like, I don't know who the fuck you call, but if you dialed the fucking number and asked for the paperwork and you was willing to fucking cough off the pocket easy, I'm pretty sure you would be able to obtain that shit too. Correct me if I'm wrong.
To destroy black people, and we eating out the palm of his hands because he can come expose our snitches. He ain't exposing no white folks. And they ain't giving him no white interrogation tapes, or the bikers, or the skinheads. Who doing this to us? Who? And why is it a white face that sits over the tapes that decides who we see and we biting on it? Who is this white boy? And why is he so into black snitches? Why? Why does it matter to this cracker?
I'm just keeping it a P, you guys. Like I say, yo, it might come off as fucking weird, offensive, whatever, but 1090 Jake is just doing that shit because he know what's popular. He know rap is like what everybody's into right now, and if your favorite nigga in the trenches was actually talking to the police, well, niggas want to hear about it. That come on now.
I hate him and I don't even know him. I just know he a cracker white boy, and I hate them kind of white folks. I don't care how credible his information is. We don't want to hear from no white boy to come destroy.
You hear that shit? Like, nigga just pretty much said, like, I don't care if he is wrong because he's white. I just don't want to hear from him. Like, let a nigga come expose this paperwork and we'll give it a look. But, yo, I'm chatting right now.
Our kind. He destroying number of black people with this credible information that he obviously is getting from the police.
With comments like real talk, no lies told, and Charleston just destroyed Jake's career, you would think that he was done after someone like Charleston White, a well-respected figure in the hip-hop space, discredited his whole brand.
Charleston White is one of them niggas, and like, no disrespect, because I think he's funny sometimes, but Charleston White to me is one of them niggas who be like, white people can be racist, but black people can't be racist. Like, I say, like, you know, my grandfather, he was like the most influential male figure in my life. He's passed away, so God rest his soul. But, you know, I can just remember, like, yo, him, my grandma, you know, we always just tell her, yo, don't come home with no white girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, to me, is that not prejudice? Because, like, yo, they pretty much telling us, like, look, my nigga, like, yo, don't go out there, don't explore white people. If a white girl make you fucking feel some kind of way, ignore that shit because, you know what I'm saying, our racial issues in the past. Like, I don't know, blood. Like, I just feel like by him being like, yeah, you know, it's okay if a nigga had told me this, but because a white person told me this, I'm not gonna check it out. Like, is that not racism? Like, that's just me keeping it a P, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, I'ma always be honest. I'm not finna fucking agree with some shit that I think is wrong. But y'all let me know in the comment section what's going on right there, because Charleston White, I don't know, man. Like by him calling white Caucasian people a cracker, like, you feel me? Like, hey, he say that, but if a white person said that he a nigga, like, he be bugging. You feel me? But like, I just feel like we in these times where like I feel, and I'm a black man, bro, but like I don't like trip on no white person, you know, unless they actually are being racist toward me, or maybe the police, because sometimes like the police do be abusing their power, but that's a whole nother topic. But like the whole point I'm trying to say is like my grandparents and my great grandparents maybe dealt with like more racial issues in their society, you know what I'm saying? And not to say things are completely equal, not to fucking say that black people have all the advantages that other races might be entitled to, but the main point I'm trying to say is like black people are privileged to a lot. There are black billionaires, black millionaires, we've had a black president, we got another half black chick running for president. Like, I'm just saying, like, yo, as a black man, I'm feeling like what a time to be alive, because yo, even as a felon, my nigga, there's still so much that I can do. You feel me? Like I say, I mean, like Martin Luther King probably died for us to have a little bit more, but still, like, yo, we on the right direction. It's on the way. You feel me? Like I say, man, like, yo, right now, hey, you as a black man can, like, cry and scream out that there is a racial issue, and if it get caught on camera, millions of people is gonna hop in the comment section and make the fucking police officer that hurt your feelings, slammed you on the ground, all that shit. Yo, he's gonna lose his job. He's going to jail. Society's gonna spit on that nigga, fucking burn his parents' house down. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, people be crashing out for black justice these days. So, I mean, maybe things ain't all the way at peak, because, again, you really can't control everybody's mindset. Like, no matter how many goddamn parades and movements and goddamn riots you start, it's still gonna be a motherfucker out there that'd be like, I don't like niggers. I'm just being honest. But I'm really fucking trying. Y'all just let me know, where did this racist shit end? Because, like, I don't know. I feel like we living in a time where black people think white people can be racist, but it's not vice versa. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've really been talking on this too long.
But in Jake's opinion, this was just a natural response to the fact that he was the one who managed to turn this kind of content into a viable business.
As far as who gets the profit, it's the motherfucker that figures it out. We could all stop right now. That doesn't mean you're gonna take off. You might not even be good at this shit. They might not even like you. They watch you because they like you. They watch me because they like me. It is what the fuck it is. Because people will say me and you are only succeeding at this shit because we're white, and there's some big fucking conspiracy, and they're getting blackballed. It never ends.
Yeah, definitely.
Besides, it's not like everyone was against him. In fact, some people actively support.
I was tired of being alone.
I was sick of showing up solo.
I was looking for rangerousness in all the wrong places until I went to tallboysonly.com.
Meet tall, cold singles.
I was about to say, is that the goddamn Voodoo Ranger nigga? Yo, that's that fucking, that's that like double hops ale, right?
Ordered what he did, and his reputation for outing a performance led to him being shouted out by Lil Durk on the track Eyes Red.
Beat his body, he the man, even though the witness took the stand. 1090 Jake on the ground, black snitch short to the fan.
He even got the seal of approval from some of the most notoriously opinionated figures in the culture, like Boosie.
1090 Jake said like 3 of the people in the XXL freshman issues are snitches and have paperwork. Right. You know what I'm saying? More and more. Like paperwork is popping out of the woodwork. It's just like crazy.
It's just bad, bro. Appreciate 1090 Jake too, bro. Like,
you fuck with him?
Yeah, I fuck with him, bro. If it wasn't for him, bro, and if he was a different color, it would be all gray.
Oh man, people more scared of him than me these days.
Hey, I'm grateful for 1090 Jake, bro. I smile every time.
We gotta get him on the show, man.
A concern for anyone with skeletons in their closet, Jake was getting a real reputation as authority on all things paperwork and street code. But he's not just about exposing rappers. At the height of his power, he was clearing artists when they were falsely accused, even if he felt viewers just focused on the negative.
They tried to say thug snitched or whatever. I did a video on that, and his sister thanked me. The thing is, when I dropped that video, everybody assumed I had something negative to say. All the comments and, you know, it hit all the blogs, everybody's talking cash shit, but his actual sister is like, yo, I appreciate you for clearing his name on that. You know, so a lot of people, they don't even want to see what it is. They just have an opinion and hate on it.
Building an empire out of being the man who could tell you if someone really told or if it was all just hearsay, Jake really looked unstoppable for a brief moment. But unfortunately for him, all those he had tried to take down were now going to savor the news that in his past, Jake might have crossed the line into snitching territory himself. In September of 2023, stories began to emerge that Jake wasn't quite the hardline anti anti-snitch campaigner that he made himself out to be. According to reports, 1090 Jake had supposedly handwritten a letter about an altercation when he was behind bars, where he seemed to be telling on a fellow inmate.
Paperwork has surfaced of 1090 Jake allegedly writing a handwritten statement against another inmate while he was locked up. How do we feel about this?
Jake tried to do damage.
That nigga shot. Your blood sound like he just pulled the last Newport out of a box of cigarettes.
Control for his brand by hopping on Instagram Live with Remo from No Jumper to try and set the record straight about the allegations, where he claimed that he had actually covered this in old videos.
I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody really gets out of confinement. If you get a DR, yeah, pretty much not gonna get out of there.
Yeah.
So I wrote that shit up like, look, ain't none of this shit happened, none of this shit's true. I had to sit in the room handcuffed while they beat the f out of both of the boys. And even though this is dude I'm at war with, and he just fired me up, I don't want to see nobody get flipped like that, you know? I'd rather do it to you than watch the police do it. This is from 4 years ago, bro. Breaking down this whole...
The comments to the video showed that people were not buying it. Nah, we don't want to hear it. Just like you be doing our people. A rat is a rat, white or black. Cap. No explaining yourself. Bottom line, you a snitch, goofball. But one thing about making a lot of enemies is that when your own downfall is taking place, they'll pile on. So, where Jake had previously grilled someone like Wack 100 over the fact that he had been in the vicinity of a few snitches before, like Takashi and Skinny from the 9, it meant that the minute that he was the one under the microscope, they were ready to go and try to wreck his whole reputation.
Running this snitch paperwork, right?
Right.
So I was like, cool, we're gonna run that, but let's talk about your snitch paperwork. Could we go over yours, the one when you were telling?
So what do you think he told on? Are you talking about the broken window thing that he told the cops that it was somebody else?
He gave statements. You know, I got a little research team over there on Clubhouse. They put it all together. I think if he told, he should just say, listen, I'm King Rat, and one rat knows a rat.
Wait, somebody got hit with a vandalism charge because it's 1090 Jake? What's going on there? A broken window.
And people were...
Every month, this Airbnb pays me about $2,700 in semi-passive income. Now here's...
Every month, I'm not in that goddamn Airbnb, so why do I care?
Respect that. He like, I'm exposing rats. So then he takes away the attack.
Who do you think he told on?
What you mean, the gentleman in the paperwork?
Suddenly, videos titled things like, "This new leaked paperwork could be the end of 1090 Jake's career," were being published and the tables were firmly turned on Jake. This presented a real problem, as now, it meant that Jake wasn't seen as a vital voice, but just another internet personality with a shady past. And now he's had to defend himself about it in every interview, since alongside posting a 40-minute video where he went over every allegation in an attempt to dead them once and for all.
You were actually accused.
Yeah.
Of snitching.
Again, they're not giving up.
So paperwork surfaced of 1090 Jake allegedly snitching on an inmate while he was in jail. The accusers claimed he spoke on another inmate fighting in a handwritten statement. The end of the statement also said, "Please help me," addressed to the warden as he expressed that he was threatened, blackmailed, and assaulted and needed help.
Yo.
So you're familiar with the situation?
Yeah, I'm dead. I was mad soft in prison. Yeah, so everybody said I wrote a statement. What I wrote was a grievance, right?
Okay.
So anybody that's familiar with being incarcerated, a grievance is basically like a complaint. So I filed a grievance. Now I wrote in the grievance, these CEOs are trying to f with me. They trying to do this, they trying to do that, set me up, beat me, whatever. I'm trying to get the f out of here. The CEOs are lying on me. My grievance had really nothing to do with the situation.
Okay, so wait, y'all let me know in the comments, like, if the police is fucking around you, these niggas beating you up, slamming you on the concrete, emptying your pockets, you know what I'm saying, putting fake charges on you, like, it's okay to tell on them, right? Like, yo, that's what's going on. I don't know if that's snitching, y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments, bro. Like I say, if the police is doing you dirty, that ain't no street shit. That's some shit you handle in a goddamn courtroom. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, even if the police fucking sliding, like, you just still supposed to keep quiet, because you can't shoot at the police and expect to get too far, right? Y'all let me know what the fuck is going on.
Other than they lied in the situation. Nothing I wrote in the grievance could be used against another inmate, because I named him, and they know what happened. We already got found guilty for this. So nothing I said could be used against him. But they try to put it out there like I wrote a statement against him. That's what got him sent to confinement, this, that, and the third. So the internet went crazy.
Besides the fact that the story devalued his content, another issue was that everyone aside from his own fans just weren't accepting his attempts to bail himself out of the hole that he found himself in. Crazy how it's double standards when it's you involved. Moving the goalposts when it's you. Dude is a rat. Left without the untouchable reputation he once had, his critics were now looking at his whole operation sideways.
Well, he snitched. That's how he know how to expose. He snitched in jail, wrote a grievance on him.
He talked about that. He said he didn't snitch.
But they got paperwork said he did. If you write any information, that's telling.
Didn't he give information on a CO?
Telling is telling, whether you tell on a CO or not. If you tell on a CO, you'll tell on a crook because you got a nature of telling. Telling is telling. You don't tell on nobody if you don't tell. A CO, a cop. The crooks don't go file complaints on cops. They take the mistreatment and wrongdoing. I'm a crook.
Okay.
Crooks don't get treated fairly. Crooks don't get rewards. Crooks don't get benefits, hard times, consequences, and repercussions.
This period is where things really began to go south for Jake, because rather than these comments go—
Wait, yeah, y'all really gotta explain that shit to me. So you telling me now, like, hey, if the fucking police run this nigga Charleston White over, handcuff him to one of them fucking basketball hoops and in the fucking trenches, y'all had to let me know he not gonna say nothing? Like I said, like, even if you fucking get on Instagram Live, you start talking about, man, the police just jumped me. Like, yo, that's still snitching then, right? Like, you supposed to handle that shit like, like quietly. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't understand. Like, that's why to me the street code don't make sense. Like I say, like, it's not good to fucking tell on the fucking ops. You can't tell on the fucking cops, but you can't slide on the fucking cops, but you can slide on the fucking ops. But then if the fucking cops catch you, then like it's too complicated for me. Y'all, let me know in the comment section. Like I said, yo, signing up to fucking be a nigga in the trenches is like trying to fucking figure out a goddamn Rubik's Cube, my nigga. Like, yo, nobody gonna figure that shit out. Y'all only know in the comment section. Yo, who is the last hood nigga who fucking ran off into the sunset? Had a fucking happy ending.
Going away, they've now become a permanent part of the narrative around him, putting a question mark next to basically everything he does. And as Charleston White going at him wasn't bad enough, he's even had one of the biggest lawyers in hip-hop going after him. Lawyer Bradford Cohen.
Manage money as a family with the Venmo Teen account, available for ages 13 to 17.
Yo, the ad is crazy. This is authentic. This is like the 7th ad.
An attorney who's represented stars like Drake, Travis Scott, Vanilla Ice, DeAndre Baker, Polo G, DMX, Dennis Rodman, YNW Melly, and others, Bradford also had a close professional and personal affinity with Kodak Black. During his time exposing prison business, Jake called out Yak for not only collaborating with 6ix9ine, but also for allegedly being placed in protective custody while he was in prison. And eventually, Bradford clapped back.
Okay, and see again now, like, why is that frowned upon? Because, yo, so what? The nigga he don't want to be in GP, he want to be by himself, he's a celebrity. Niggas is gonna target him just off that. Like, y'all be like, oh, well, you so big bad and gangster, yo, you take on everybody else who in the fucking county jail. Like, that ain't how it fucking work. Y'all niggas look at these fucking gangster rappers like they got superpowers or something. Like, my nigga, they're still just regular people. Okay, they've been in a couple of fucking shootouts. Like, my nigga, that don't mean they can take on the entire fucking prison. Like, what are we talking about?
Back to say that Jake had ulterior motives. This story is strange. 1090 Jake wanted an interview with Kodak about his feature on a record. When he didn't do the interview, this guy came out and said that somehow Kodak told on jail guards. When I filed a lawsuit against guards, which is part of the basis for the commutation, for failing to allow Kodak access to religious leaders and abuse, that was telling. Meanwhile, I just got DMs from a person with docs where 1090 Jake gave a sworn statement as a witness in a shooting and gave a statement to police about other individuals. Once again, Jake tried to brush this under the carpet and left a comment on the—
So wait, is pointing fingers at the police, is that snitching or not? Y'all let me know in the comment section. If you tell on the cops, is that chatting? Like, I don't understand. Like, how can you fucking keep it street with the fucking police? Like, make it make sense to me.
Post stating, "You a lawyer, request that shooting case and see nobody existed in that case. Talk about why Kodak ain't come out of his cell." Hit with accusations that he is a snitch every time he tries to comment on what a rapper is embroiled in, it seems less than coincidental that these days, he plans to pivot his content into different territory.
Well, like I said in the beginning, snitching is pretty much over with. Early on in my YouTube career, and I mean like before 50,000 subscribers, I did interviews. And I feel like I want to tap back into that realm. You know what I mean? I feel like I followed in the footsteps of, I say, academics, finding a way of becoming hated through YouTube. And now that I've done that, I'd like to follow in the footsteps of others, even yourself, and establish myself in a different way within hip hop and just bring some new things to the table, shed light on some things that I feel I can bring forth, like the Florida culture, the prison culture, bringing on a lot of people whose stories haven't been heard. And I think that's the direction that I want to take on my channel. I want to get away from the snitching.
Looking to become a more conventional content creator, some of his fans wonder if he's burned too many bridges to be sitting there doing interviews with elite level rappers. What Jake had going for him is that people love to see other people's lives in worse shambles than their own. He's made enemies. To make matters worse, it was his tendency to find dirt on artists that was recently referenced in one of the biggest rap beefs of our time. On Drake's failed attempt to save face in his feud against Kendrick with The Heart Part 6, Drizzy referenced Jake as a way to clear himself of any wrongdoing by saying that if there were dark secrets lurking, he would have found them.
Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town.
At the moment, 1090 Jake as learning the dangers of being synonymous was one thing. Back when he had no allegations of snitching against his name, this wasn't so much of a problem. But now that he's got the same stain on him that he's administered to so many rappers, it means that his content can't possibly hit the same for most viewers. Even when he hit 1 million subscribers, it was still the first thing a lot of social media said to diminish his accomplishment. And now that he's trying to move away from it, he really just has to hope that fans will still rock with him in the same way they did when he had his unique selling point as the man who could ruin your favorite artist's reputation at a moment's notice. And not to say it's really done too much damage to his channel, as he's still consistently posting videos to this very day, and his views are still pretty solid, doing around 3 million views a month at the time of this recording. And recently, bro even snitched on someone who was close to him. So in a lot of ways, he is now facing the repercussions of a culture he contributed to. And in that sense, he really can't complain about the reputational issues he's facing now.
Alright, yeah, y'all let me know in the comment section what we think about the boy 1090 Jake. Did I just hear that since it's Charleston White, a highly respected figure in the hip-hop community? Yeah, that's crazy. What did Luis say about that? I said what I said. Oh, shit, yo, you remember when that nigga said in that fucking song, fuck, I can't remember that song, but he was like, yeah, bow, you looking hot, and I shot him. Like, yo, that nigga said, like, yo, the niggas in Memphis, they be saying that. They be like, yeah, blood, I said what I said. Like, oh, okay, alright. That nigga Luesta, okay. Is this nigga, where's Luesta from? Charleston White complaining about the snitches when there's literally a video calling. Oh, yo, facts, my nigga, huh? That's why I say, like, the street code is so goddamn contradicted, because, like, how can he be, like, talking about, yo, these snitches don't deserve to breathe, but at the same time, it's a fucking video saying, I'll call the police real quick, I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, y'all let me know in the comments how we explain that. It's actual wild to me. Charleston White is mad about another dude snitching. I work for Mr. Beast. He a fraud. How do you make an entire video essay on a subject, still have no idea what you're talking about? I had to stop watching the video as soon as you says Charleston White is a well-respected figure. See y'all, 1090 Jake mad at the video about the waste. See, if a nigga like Charleston White called 1090 Jake, but a nigga like Drake literally mentioned him in a positive lighting on a song, saying, yo, my nigga, he would have fucking turned into a goddamn fucking detective like that nigga in Inspector Gadget. If the paperwork was really out there, if I really did something wrong, if a nigga like Charleston White talking about you, throwing shade, but one of the biggest rappers that exists is literally kind of glazing you, like, y'all let me know in the comment section, yo, keep doing what you're doing, right? Charleston White ain't respected. At least to respect yourself, bro. How you gonna call someone a fake gangster after literally explaining clearly he was in a gang and got locked up? Oh, so y'all really, we're defending Jake. Charleston White's ignorant facts. Charleston White, like, my nigga, hey, talk. When I imagine Charleston White talking, he just, like, I imagine, like, a lot of the niggas in the backwoods of the South, like, if we was having a conversation with them, like, you know, like a nigga from rural Alabama, like I said, that's how a nigga, like, might be talking, like Charleston White, you get what I'm saying? Like, and that's no disrespect to the South, because I got family in Mississippi, you know, but it's just, like, yo, the ideology down there is so just, like, old school, is kind of fucking in reverse, what do you call it, backwards. And when I say that, it's people down there, like, you know, like, they so ingrained on like what happened in the past that they can't see the fucking future. You know, they not worried about what happened next. They worried about, oh, well, you know, this happened to my mom and this happened to my fucking older brother, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. It sucks, bro. But again, like, if it's not the people that directly did that shit, if you're dealing with like a new generation of Caucasian people, like, yo, my nigga, you look like the buffoon for fucking having any sort of hatred. Like, if you're not taking it out on the people that actually did it, my nigga, what are you doing? That's like when the fucking ops, yo, if somebody shoots somebody else's cousin and then they can't get that nigga, but they slide on his homie, like, okay, yeah, you got him, but was justice really served? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I'm chatting. Should have kept this video in the vault. Oh shit. Nah, this mad. I never thought you would take dog pack thumbnail and edit it. Oh my god, why y'all hating on Lewiston now? Even if he was a snitch, the information remains the same. Hip-hop doesn't respect snitches and never has. Facts. That's the main point I was saying. Like, yo, if the fucking niggas that's talking, the fucking rats, if they've infiltrated, don't you want to know? Y'all gotta let me know what's going on here in the comments. But enough is enough. If you enjoyed the vid, like, sub. I will catch you on the next one. Like I said, yo, shout out the boy Luis. I don't think he did nothing wrong.